Hey there, Riverica here, reporting for duty on a trigger. Thank you for shuffling states of emergency into adoption spirit magic with me and steering clear of danger. Heartily, we are grateful. In this session, we are exploring what the new moon on the 21st of March 2023, has to tell us, and it's in Aries at 1 degree. But before that, disclaimers. I am not a doctor, lawyer, therapist. I'm a fortune teller, so what I offer is no substitute for their services. Furthermore, what I share does not determine your future, only your intentions and actions do. So please use your gifts of discernment before deciding what to gather and take away. And of course, take only what resonates and blow like a kiss the rest back to the universe for cosmic composting into beauty. And this reading is intended for fun and games, for shits and giggles, for entertainment, for flexing our heart, mind, body, spirit, soul, intuition, emotions, and at the least, I hope to cause harm to none, and at the most, I hope I may assist you on your healing path. All that said, let me introduce our helpers. I have lit candles for Source, Mother Earth, Father Sky, the homeless, those that kick them out of their homes, the neighbors, the passers-by, even those working against our spiritual progression. Also for harmony, unity, and balance, for the Archangel of the day, whatever day you are viewing this. Even though this is for the new moon read in Aries on the 21st of March 2023, you can see its impacts will go beyond that day. For example, the 3-day draw on either side of the moon in such situations, and so on and so forth. We have also lit a candle for ancestors here in the highest love and light, and those who have crossed by suicide to Father Sky, and the family and friends they left behind on Mother Earth, as well as the war-torn families, nations, countries, worlds, universes, galaxies. And we thank Source for helping us all adopt success, transmuting these violent cycles into love. I also have here our mini crystal ball and our wooden wand and wooden dagger wand to help buoy our spirits and cut to the heart of the matter. And we have Paragrams by Paramahansa Yogananda of the Self-Realization Fellowship, and the Cosmic Dancer Oracle by Sedona Soulfire and Tess Whitehurst. We also have sage to help clear the space, some purple onyx. Let me bring that over for you to view. And the world map. Indeed. So you can see what resonates with you. Looking up purple onyx. And it's parallel, I would say. It's parallel to onyx with the violet flame added in. So we appreciate Michael also coming in when we use the violet flame, when we call on the violet flame, Michael, to help add an extra layer of blue flame protection. And of course, Source, the white light as well, to help play through these losses and traumas, to live life worth living. And yeah, let's sage. Clear out the hate, the violence, the intolerance, the unwelcomes, the interference, the obstructions, streaming grace to replace. Thank you so much for holding the intention of seeing love, and only love we shall see. Thank you. Oopsie. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And let's start off with the paragrams. And thank you for making it abundantly clear. We are so grateful. I am restricted by copyright from showing this card. You can find it on your own at the Self-Realization Fellowship, these paragrams by Paramahansa Yogananda. And if you enjoy reading these on your own, otherwise you may listen along. So this card we gathered is loyalty. God is equally present in all, but in the hearts of the spiritually minded, loyal person who thinks only of him, God is most definitely expressed. God is the secret of all mental power, peace, and prosperity. He is the real source of all that is desirable in life. Through your loyalty to God, you can establish your oneness with him, realize your soul's perfection. Be loyal, as loyalty attracts the divine attention. When the storms of life gather and the waves of trials buffet you, guide the boat of your life safely to the divine shores by realizing his omnipresence. How beautiful and timely with everything we're going through, and reminders about how to develop our faith. And one way is through loyalty. And I invite you to share how you express in your culture God with a capital G, as well as him with a capital H, and divine attention with a capital D and a capital A. How might you express those in your culture? And let's see if there's anything else. And that's just for fun, to help you understand how, not to understand how, to make this reading even more relevant for you. That's what I meant to say. Thank you for being so patient with me. And what a beautiful reminder. I'm just reading through it again to see if there's anything else that's jumping out at me. And that's intense. So being loyal, what does that look like to you? What does that sound like to you? What does that feel like to you? And in those times when the storms come, and especially over the past couple years, we've been asked to be ready, be prepared, and you know, we're more ready than we ever have been. And the storms we've weathered already, and you know, just showing us what we're capable of and how strong we are. And we've created these, so many of us have been able to create these safe, sacred spaces to weather those storms with all the things that help us through those times, from maybe it's music, playing an instrument, to singing. Maybe you have a cry space with a special beautiful cry towel and a cozy blanket, so when the tears come and you're feeling those rainbows to your soul, you can go to that safe, sacred space. And we can thank the First Nations. I apologize, I don't know which tribe shares that proverb with us. Tears are rainbows to the soul. But all that to say, we've been developing our safe, sacred space to help us play through the losses and traumas, because like they're there. We got to play through. We chose to be here and play through. And so how can we do that with love and light in our heart instead of hate and bitterness. And thank you so much for taking such sweet care of yourself and helping yourself evolve to where you want to go and during these times. And we're so grateful that you're here with us and collaborating with us for this new earth. So now the Cosmic Oracle Dancer, and you are a whole, full, loving, powerful, spiritual being, and so am I. And we thank your source and spirit team, angels, galaxy guides, ancestors, saints, sages, gods, goddesses, universes here in the highest love and light. And we thank your source and my source for shifting the situation into what it needs to be, offering necessary insights, healings, acts of grace and protection. Heartily, we are grateful. And so it was, so it was, so it was, so it was. Oh, I forgot to introduce my pink rose quartz pyramid. I apologize. Yeah, check out the aspects of rose quartz and the pyramid. So much to be said about that. That's simply pure love and transformation into that pure love would be my short story of that. But we are all different psychosocial science experiments, so maybe share what all that means to you, that rose quartz pyramid. So we thank your source and my source for making it abundantly clear what this moon at 1 degree of Aries, this dark moon, this new moon at 1 degree of Aries has to tell us about how to move forward, minding our business in the highest love and light. Heartily, we are grateful. Thank you. And on the bottom we have 31, tap into your primal power. Oh, that's hot. And then 19, make mistakes. Love it. Yes, the past couple videos I have been practicing this, making mistakes. Thank you for that affirmation. And 19, the number 1 and the number 9, that number 1 initiates and begins and puts our needs first and puts our needs, I'm fumbling, I apologize. Brings our needs to a conclusion and puts ourselves first. Thank you. And that's number 1. And it also, did I say, invokes the Creator, initiates and begins. It invokes the Creator, initiates and begins. I know I'm repeating myself. That's part of my job. And what else about number 1? Oh, it helps with those victim issues that cause us to take on others' energies or put others before us, which happens so often with orphans and adoptees. And what a beautiful number to help us turn that around to more equitable, just, fair way of life, joyful. And that, sorry, I have so much is coming to me. I'm trying to sort it and relay it to you about that. So that was my pause as I'm speaking and going slow. And just accepting how I receive. Thank you for being so patient with me. And that number 9 is a conclusion, right? Ending a cycle. And it can also help with these some people call it evil, but this number 9 can help transform that into love. And this 9 represents change and harmony. It eliminates the old and opens us up to the new. It signals the end of a boundary problem or detrimental pattern and confirms that we are ready to move forward and embrace new possibilities. That's super sweet, that number 9. And we can thank Cindy Dale for those translations of the numbers, and I invite you to check the description for information about her, and of course you can check more on your own about the numerology and how that number 9 may help us in those times when people are so grief struck by loss, they're possessed by grief, that they lash out, and then they may be perceived by some as quote unquote evil, but this number 9 helps in those instances and transmute that to love. We see that, oh, we need to steer clear, and they are in a position to heal, and they get that healing, and so that transmutes those violent cycles into love. And I was stumbling as I was trying to say that, because it's a mystery. Each person's different, how they go from that grief struck by loss place, that possessed in grief place that makes us hurt so much that we lash out at other people or take down twin towers, for example. Sorry, that was wrong of me to say that and not even offer a trigger warning and all the different people that's affected. I apologize for saying it that way. So that numerology, all that to say, this numerology can help in instances play through the loss and trauma, because it's really flippin' challenging, right? To say the least. We could take it out on ourselves or other people or both. And so it's essential to have different ways to play through that. You know, once you know, oh, okay, that's how that goes. Okay, well, how can I play through it? And we all have been asked over the past couple of years especially to create those safe havens for ourselves and to be ready for the ups and downs. Like I heard somewhere recently, I apologize, I can't remember where, that our life, you know, it has ups and downs like our heartbeat, and we can deal with our heartbeat doing that, and we're learning more how to deal with that in different ways, such as the pandemic. And so we have really learned a lot and come a long way and evolved, and that's beautiful. That's some of the silver linings of the challenges, is how we've evolved and really stepped into ourselves. So number 19, all that to say, number 19, make mistakes. That's part of how we learn. You want to make mistakes so you know you're learning. So this cosmic dancer oracle is substantial, so I invite you to settle in and listen as I read it to you. So here we go. Each time you make a mistake, you have the opportunity to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and then recalibrate and reassess the situation. This sacred act of soul polishing assists you on your way toward your most lustrous and fully integrated self. This is why the goddess, God/DESS, this is why the goddess, your angels, and your spirit guides encourage you to embrace the human experience of making mistakes with joy, openness, acceptance, and gratitude. By drawing this card, you are the beneficiary of a cosmic secret. True success smiles upon those who are 100% willing to fail. Once you master the art of dancing gracefully with mistakes, you will know what it means to be truly free. Free to follow your heart, embody your power, and live your dreams. Just as a bodybuilder uses resistance to grow stronger, the cosmic resistance of life's obstacles, challenges, and mistakes will shape and mold you into your strongest, wisest, and most radiant self. Trust in the challenges the universe places in your pathway and head straight into them, even if you feel you have no idea where you're going, what you're doing, or why you're doing it in the first place. All your favorite artists and athletes started at the very beginning with zero mastery, and they made thousands of mistakes. Many of the most successful performers were told they did not have a natural talent or aptitude for their chosen discipline. This demonstrates the surprising power of mistakes. Repetitive corrections create stronger neural pathways that propel you toward your desired outcome. Successful actions become more deeply ingrained when you're required to expend more energy to work for them. The same dynamic is at work not only in art and athletics, but in every area of life. A path of abundant quote-unquote failure precedes every path of abundant success. If you are not willing to look silly, unpolished, or unpracticed, you will never achieve mastery in any skill, practice, or area of life. To tap into the wisdom of this card, practice the following movement. I'll give you a beat to stand up, get ready for the movement, or to pause and come back. Take note of the time so you can pause and come back. Pardon me. All right, so stand on the tiptoe of one foot with your other leg lifted behind you. Put your arms out for balance. Then cross your eyes, open your mouth wide, and stick out your tongue. Wobbling and losing your balance is absolutely welcome. Whenever you come out of the pose, simply get back into it. Continue for at least a full minute. This card also comes as a reminder to forgive yourself for anything you think you've done or not done. If you feel wronged by someone else, this is a time to find peace in knowing that we are each doing our best with what we have in any given moment. We all falter in our integrity, behave without full awareness, or fail to have the purest of intentions in our relations with other people and ourselves, at least sometimes. This is evidence that we are alive. As long as we are here in this physical reality, we have opportunities to learn, grow, improve, and lovingly make corrections to our course. Oh, please pardon that. That's the printer going off. We share an office, and I apologize. Surely you understand. So that's perfect timing for this. I don't want to say anybody's making a mistake, but like that could appear as a mistake. The printer going off in the middle of a reading, you know. But that's all right. We're learning, we're living, we're having fun, we're laughing, right? Nobody's, it's all right. Nobody's getting hurt, right? And we're able to laugh through it. Like, really, what matters is just loving each other and how all the different ways we can do that, even amidst mistakes, right? And I invite you to also perhaps check out the Sun moving into Aries reading, the piece about forgiving yourself. You might find extra support in that reading. And yes, this moon, you know, the sun and the moon, there's a sun moving into Aries on the 20th, and then the new moon on the 21st in Aries at 1 degree. And so, you know, the sun and the moon working together in those instances during that time of the dark moon, and that moon and what it represents, we know it is sometimes associated with mystics, the hidden, intuition, nighttime, right? There's so much. And as you hear me say quite often, I invite you to research on your own more and see what resonates with you about the moon. So that making mistakes is so beautiful. And then also tapping into your primal power. That's on the bottom. That was jumping out at me. 31. So playing with this new moon, making mistakes, tapping into your primal power. It's reminding me of the Primal Wound, a book that if you are adopted, you probably know it. Let's see here. I'm right here, and I just went over to grab what that card is reminding me of. Understanding the primal wound. Understanding the adopted child. So this is one of the standards in the adoption world. There's others, of course. But that primal power, and so many adoptees and orphans have moved into this place where they've understood, they've explored their primal wound, and now it's time to flip the card and step into that primal power and just really own who you are with full acceptance, right? That forgiveness came up. Just owning each part of you as you are and understanding how to tap into your primal power and how to maintain your integrity by maintaining your boundaries. Oh my gosh, so much. It's making me think. I'm sure it's bringing up for you as well. It's a very powerful image. You can let me know in the comments. And so we already talked about the 1, but we didn't talk about the 3 in this session. And that 3 is such an optimistic number. And it brings a beginning and an end together. It's the number of creation. It ends chaos. And it helps in those situations. It helps establish boundaries in those situations for people who are susceptible to environmental or psychic invasions. You know, like a psychic invasion might be people just talking about you behind your back. They're just talking about you behind your back, eating and drinking and talking about you behind your back, and that amounts to cursing you. And some people are super sensitive to that. Their clairs pick it up. All the different clairs, or a few of the different clairs, pick that up, and they feel it, they hear it, or they hear it, or they just know it. The different ways we can pick that up, and each particular person's experience is different. So this number 3 helps in those instances, protect us in those instances for those who are extra sensitive to those psychic invasions or the environmental invasions, like, you know, those people I'm going back to the psychic invasions and just clarifying that the people talking behind your back are, you know, they're grief struck by loss and as well, and possessed by grief, and they're talking about you in those ways behind your back speaks more to their loss and trauma than truth to their words about you. Does that make sense? So I just wanted to clarify that. Just clarifying out that quote-unquote evil, that it's just other people who are grief-struck by loss, possessed by grief, and we see more what that looks like, and we can forgive each other, knowing that could be us, that could be me, and not to condone the acting out, but just to that place of, just to share that place of being able to offer forgiveness for yourself, and that compassion and understanding. It's huge. Helping move forward in the way you want to live. Like if you're unable to, you may notice some different blocks in your life. I'll let you explore that more on your own. So that 31, tap into primal power. 3 and the 1 1 adds up to a 4. That 4 is like a chair, 4 feet on the floor, solid, grounded. And she's looking like she's getting grounded and solid. Her dance pose. And that number 4 helps when other people are pulling on us energetically, emotionally, or physically. So these numbers can help us play through our losses. So let's see what else the Cosmic Dancer Oracle has to tell us about the moon, the new moon in Aries. And I invite you to settle in as I read. And here we go. It appears that your life, or some area of your life, has become stagnant, stuck, or overly predictable. To get things moving, you must let go of the need to control. Tap into your fiery passion and enjoy the liberation that comes from expressing your wild, untamed nature. In this way, you will reconnect with your primal power, which is a source of unlimited creativity and fulfillment. Whether you can feel it or not, there is a burning need within you to bring forth something specific. Perhaps it's a career, a business, a creative endeavor, a conscious upgrade in any life area, or another bold and positive new step. You will discover what this is or gain clarity on how to move forward when you reconnect with the raw force of your inner fire. It is no longer sustainable to tiptoe, play nice, or give away your power in any way. Own who you are, stop apologizing for what you want, and allow your words and deeds to flow from your deepest and most primal self, right this very minute. You are an earthly manifestation of Shakti, the alive and dynamic force of creation. Invoke this force now. Let it guide you in taking risks, blazing through boundaries, and transcending everything that formerly seemed to hold you back. You will further benefit from honoring the force of physical desire in your body and your heart. Desire is the holy and divine energy that creates worlds, magnetizes, and catalyzes relationships, and allows you to birth beautiful new conditions into form. Release any shame and guilt around desire, and remember that physical pleasure is a sacred gift of the goddess to all her earthly children. Rekindle your untamed awareness of your physicality. Celebrate the pulse of nature as it courses through your veins. Feel Mother Earth's heartbeat as your own. Howl at the moon, dance naked in the wind, and move your body for the sake of how good it feels. Feel your unity with the rhythms and cycles of life, death, and rebirth. Stir the cauldron within you. Come into glorious communion with your instinctual self and rise into authentic action. To unleash this energy through movement, put on some music that inspires your wildness and that feels deep, potent, and earthy. Ideally, play it loudly. Stand with your bare feet flat on the floor, knees slightly bent. Feel your connection with the earth and consciously relax your root chakra, tailbone area. Begin powerfully rocking your pelvis back and forth in a quote-unquote twerking movement. If it feels right, you can also move your hips in wide circles to awaken the life force energy at your belly. Feel fierce. Take up space. Let go of the need to look pretty or be polite and liberate yourself completely. Completely. Sorry about that. Reunite with the primal power that is your birthright. Channel that power toward living the life you want, manifesting all the desires of your heart while enjoying complete freedom of personal and creative expression. That is so beautiful. And a couple bits came up as I was reading that. First of all, I forgot to say this was published by Blue Angel Publishing, so I want to say that. And the other piece, another piece that came up is it was reminding me of the 7 cards we humans get dealt, not just the adoptees and orphans, but it's these 7 two-faced cards that all humans are dealt with loss and trauma. And those 7 cards came up to me because they were mentioned in this. The guilt and shame is one, and then mastery and control. They just mentioned control, but mastery and control is another. And then I'm going to share the other 5, and you can suss them out on your own. The other 5 adoption cards: loss, grief, identity, intimacy, and rejection. And so those were coming up as I was reading that, and those are two-faced cards. There's another side to them, and we all get dealt with them. And so you may play around with that over this next moon. And this was also really reminding me of the sun moving into Aries reading. The sun moving into Aries reading. So you may enjoy taking that in. And the other piece that came up is, these dance moves, do them to, what your body is telling you. So some of us, that twerking movement, we may find ourselves needing to make an adjustment so we can be safe and sound. And so maybe it looks quite different, very different than twerking. Like twerking's not even in the ballpark. It's just our body's got to do something else to be safe and sound. So just honor your body and what it's telling you, and make these your own. Make these activities your own. So that is what I am seeing for you in this reading about the new moon in Aries at 1 degree. And that happens on the 21st of March. And on the same day, Venus is conjunct the North Node in Taurus. And it's also sextiling Pluto. Let me see. The new moon is sextiling Pluto. Quadruple check me. There's stuff happening. And so you can dig deeper and perhaps find some more assistance and moving through these energies, checking those different aspects out. And perhaps I'll do another reading that addresses some of that. Maybe, maybe not. And if you enjoyed this reading, you may also enjoy our Tuesday night circles from 8 to 8:30 on Zoom. No more than 100 people. That's Eastern time. Those are free, and I help you play your cards, tapping into my 52 years of personal experience with adoption and being an orphan, and also my experience 17 years working as a teacher, and then some of that was a teacher of teachers, helping adolescents achieve their dreams during the era of No Child Left Behind, morphing like a butterfly into Every Student Succeeds. And that's Tuesday night circles. That's Chacho Busin, True Friend. And you may also choose to enroll in my online course that launched this year. It's the first edition, so exciting. Reclaim Your Game, that dives deeper into playing your cards. So the Tuesday Circle helps you play your cards. The Reclaim Your Game online course dives deeper into playing your cards through the loss and trauma to live the life you want to live. There is also an Adoptive Parent College 101, and those are really super short segments to help anybody who desires to work with the orphans and adoptees and help them achieve their goals, from the individuals at the fire station to the ER, to the doctor, to the nurse, to the therapist, to the lawyer, to the teacher, to the friend, to the parent. So that Adoptive Parent College 101, that online course is for any of those people. who are ready to think about adoption in a new way to help support the adoptees in their life and the orphans in their life. And yeah, so if that resonates, those are there for you. You can find the links on my About page. And thank you so much for joining us in this session, helping us breathe life into adoption spirit magic. Heartily, we are grateful. Until next time, ciao for now. I love you all.